Your Spectrum Noir Aqua Markers come in 48 colours. I've just done a quick colour chart for myself for my reference to what all the colours look like, and all I did to make this was I just got the colours and blobbed on with the thicker colour and wrote the names just so I could see what colours there were at a quick glance when I'm doing a project. But these aren't all the colours that you have to use when you're using your aqua markers. You can mix your own colours up very easily, and this is why there's only 48 in the range with these. So by mixing your colours, you can then add lots of other colours to the spectrum of colours that you already have. So I'll just show you a couple of quick ones here. This is using some of the Crafter's Companion watercolour cardstock, and so for the first colour mix, I just want to show you that obviously mixing your two colours, you can make more colours. So if we pick a blue and we pick one of the yellows, so I've got peacock blue here and a gold for a yellow. Now normally when you mix blue and yellow, you're going to get a green. So let's just put the two colours on my mat here. Okay, so first of all we're just going with a brush. I'll just get some paper towel and just show you the two colours. We'll use the yellow one first. So let's work this way around. So by showing the yellow, okay, and then we'll go in with the blue. Put a bit more of the blue on, so you can see how beautifully these colours are. They're lovely to work with, really nice. But we can now mix those two colours to give ourselves another colour. So I'm going to put a blob of yellow there, and I'm going to put an equal amount of the blue, and we'll try and mix those together with a little bit of water, and then we've got a different shade of green. So by adding more blue or more yellow, we can make that green colour totally different. So just use your colour rules. That I think it's red and blue make purple. You can also make some different colours. So here now I've got a different green to what I've got in my colour palette of greens. So by colour mixing, you can make your own colours. You can also mute colours down, and by that I mean if you've got, say, a bright colour and you wanted to make it more subtle, you can mute that down. So if I go in with, say, a bright crimson, but I want to bring that colour down to make that more muted and make it more of a burgundy colour, I can add some colour on that. Now I could choose to go in and add some black. If I just put a little bit of black, not too much, you'll see what happens with this when you mix the two together. It's going to make it a bit more muted. To me that looks a bit too muddified, so let's just see what that's coming out like. That is quite more aubergine colour really. It's hard to show in these lights, but so if I put it was the crimson that we had there, it does come through as a more muted stage. So let's show it on the other side here with the colours. So let's put a blob of the crimson on. Forgotten what colour I was using then. So that's the crimson. But then obviously I can add a little bit of black. This is going to be quite intense. But then if I put the two together, so I'm going to do quite a big blob of the crimson, and I'm only going to add a tiny amount of the black. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit of that away. I'm only going to add even less. You can see I haven't contaminated the colours. I've kept them quite separate. And then with your water brush, you can then mix those colours together, and then that's not contaminating. And then we add them onto there, and that's made that a more muted crimson. But if I wanted to add a bit more, I could put a little bit more black on there. Just take it in with your brush. To make that a more muted colour palette. Okay, so by colour mixing, you can change any of the colours that you have in the 48 of the Spectrum Noir colours you have. So let's go ahead and see if we can mix another one. So we know that yellow and blue make green, so this is where you're mixing the colours. You know that you can make your shades darker by just adding your black. Okay, so let's have a look at adding, let's go back to the crimson one again. In fact, no, let's go to Scarlet, I think might be better. Let's have Scarlet and Kingfisher Blue and see what we get if we mix those two together. And this is where the beauty of it is, you can just play. You know, you can print yourself off a colour wheel if you wish, and then you could really play with your colours. So I don't think that brush was quite clean. That was a bit silly of me, but never mind, we'll go in. So this is the Kingfisher. Clean the brush off. And we're going with the Scarlet. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and mix the two together and see what we get. I've done equal amounts this time. By equal amounts you can see on the board what you've got, and then I'm just going to mix those together. Oh, and that gives like a milled lavender look, like the Distress ink. It's a lovely milled lavender rather than the bright purples that we've already got in the colour palette. I'm going to take some water and mix some water with that. So the possibilities are endless. That's given a nice milled lavender look, and again, on my colour palette I don't have anything that is that milled lavender look, so you can add even more colours just by mixing the colours that you have in your on your Spectrum Noir Aqua Marker colours. So just go ahead and have a play by mixing colours and making a little chart up. You can colour blend, and that then gives another technique that you can use with your 48 Spectrum Noir Aqua Markers. So I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. If you'd like to see some other quick videos that show different techniques using your Spectrum Noir Aqua Markers, pop over to my website dawnsinspirations.com. There's lots of different ideas there, just to give you some different ideas to get the most out of your Spectrum Noir Aqua Markers. So I'm Dawn, bye bye for now.